Shropshire Sarracenias, 22nd of May 2016. Just a quick overview of the collection with about 3 or 4 weeks to go to the open day. Starting at the Ark of Life house, everything's grown up. Some plants are still in bloom. I've removed the flower heads of the plants I don't want seed from. Sarracenia are fully grown up. Looking quite bulky this year. Many are in the peat-free mix and seem to be thriving on it just like the other ones. I love the way sundew's glisten in the sunlight. All being well, we'll be moving house later this year. We seem to have some agreement now on the owners of the land for the garden we want to buy, and the sundews will get their own dedicated area. Now we're in the hybrid house. This is a very nice excellence from seed come from John Hummer. This is Hurricane Creek White crossed with his best Okefenokee clone. Alata Red Lid times 12, Glider, Flare, Purple Tonsil. It's one of the Japanese plants. This is a Suka number 16. This Adasuka from Japan. New one, Anne Carlisle. Diana's Delight. Morii crossed with Papyra venosa. Berkii. Hugh Jampton. Not so big this year, but because I've split it, this is the Lear times Lear. Big leaf here at the moment, that will be Flash. It's another new one. This is a plant that came from a French grower, but it's Myrex Rudolph II times his L20C. Very sturdy plant. And we're going on the zone with hybrids. They've all got everything in this particular zone got split and potted into a peat-free mix completely. So the Lear's a little bit shorter this year, but the root growth next year will mean that the plants will be bigger. There's one plant that's already looking pretty tall. It's around about 1 metre tall. Panning across to the Brooks hybrids, all red Morii. Hannah Mary's beginning to colour up. A line of them. This is a Reptilian Rose. I've got 2 of them now. Timothy King. And Esme Cowlard. Also, everything in this part of the bench is also in a peat-free mix. Behind it, this is Elizabeth Aden. And now we've got this huge Adrian Slack times one of, I think this would be the Santa Rosa Leuco cross, and it hasn't popped open, but it's massive. If I get out the light, this is the Pensacola dwarf Morii I've had, which colours up very nicely. And going on to the next Suka plant, the Suka number 4. Nice bright white Cheliana pictures. Running across again. This is H88. This will develop a red lip around the picture later in season. Crimson Queen just popped open and beginning to colour. This is Morii the Beast, or La Bestia from Italy. And then various Morii Adrian Slack clones. Here's one of mine. This is Sarracenia Ruth Ralph. Lids are lovely on this. I'll get out the light again. You can see. And also one of my favourites. This is John David King. Lovely striking throats. Then this is Troll from Stephen Morley, quite big and very, very similar as my Praetorian Guard, to see how they compare. And we're going on to the Vulcus and Morii, number 1 clone. This number 2 clone with the throat patch. My favourite greenhouse at the moment. I just love Sarracenia flava, and there's all this variation. And then panning across the leucophytes, you can see exactly how well the plants have been growing. Helps to keep the greenhouse door closed to raise the warmth, but I think the real factor is the peat-free mix. So, starting as I walk down the greenhouse in number order from F1 around about F26, F27 to F45. You can see it for real at the open day in a few weeks' time, but the plants are beginning to look very, very good. I've let this F88 grow into a dense clump without splitting it. Some plants have still got to do some growing before then, but we're now at F124. This one goes almost completely deep purple, I would almost argue black. Here is that plant I picked out last time when I received the roots from the peat-free mix. It's now got these fantastic dip lids, very similar to the F137 over there. Giant Ridgelii. This particular one here is F140B. If you compare with F143, that's in good sized plants, and then look at the real monster. This will be F153. It's about 110 centimetres. This particular picture didn't open up quite well this time, but the sister picture is looking very good. This will be F169E. Coming to the end of the bench, F199. And as I turn around, you can see how the plants look with the light on them rather than through them. Now onto the leucophyllus, starting at L1. I haven't deadheaded the flowers here yet. That'll be done this afternoon. Giant pink lip. Oh, 39B. Love this particular albicone. This is L45. Titan, Cronus. And now we're on the Perdido plants. These will go red. Leucophylla burgundy. Only opened a few days ago, the largest picture, but it was colouring up quickly. This is L86. And just behind it there's at least 6 Bocasa pictures, which will be large in the spring. I love the red-throated, red stripe and throat plant here from Cedric, SL61. Now we're coming on to some new Hurricane Creek white plants. These are from Natio Freitas in Madeira. Now we're going on to the rest of the flowers. Goldie's looking great. They're all in peat free and they seem to be cleaner and stronger and don't seem to get the whitening or blotchy effect. Some very tall plants here. This is my F228. Everyone's asking about this really tall one. This is still in the process of opening. This F234. One I have to show you here is the really green interior of this particular ornata. I'm going on to the copper tops. F216. They're in the Sarracenia zone. These are the potted ones. I think after we move house, these will be ending up in water because they grow so much bigger. But I'm waiting for these two flowers to open up because these are different colour flower variants. So, larger black tube, just beginning to get the red lid. They'll need some weeks to get the dark colour. So, as you can see, many of them are peat free and they seem to grow okay. But these will be obviously looking their best in autumn time. So, now onto the purpureas. Seem to still be responding well to the compost, and I start with feeding them guinea pig poo in the pictures because you don't get so many flies in here. And now some of the giants, there's a really monster luteola there. And now there's a bona fide rubra yellow flower. Miners at the back are growing well. Now we're on to rubra golfensis. And now rubra. The miners definitely coming into their own. The flowers are opening pretty well. There's M18 at the back. And all these are peat free. You can just see the growth. There's going to be some really large traps this year. So, something to celebrate. I finally finished repotting the fly traps a few days ago. Not all are in peat-free mix, and I've just given some of them just a top dressing of the peat-free mix, basically to prevent the moth. So far so good. They're all responding well to having this kind of treatment, and the ones that are in peat-free and have been the larger pots, they seem to grow like nothing's happened. I actually had a look at the first two fly traps I did on the test a few weeks ago, and the rhizomes were absolutely enormous. 2 years in the mix, and the thickest, largest rhizomes I've seen for that particular clone I was testing with. But I'm hoping for a good season with these, and the initial growth looks really good. These are the last I potted only the other days and already responding. Finally, the sales house, but here we're looking at the first batch of rhizome cuttings that made it, and they're all growing well. So easy to propagate Sarracenia, but you need to give them a good head start. And some of the bought-in plants ready for the flower shows are looking good. And then homegrown plants, these are all ready for sale at the open day. I bet some of you can recognise some of the clones here already. So we're coming to the last of the hybrids. There's a few rubras and aureophyllus left. Flytraps list will be published very, very soon. My neighbour cut his hedge last year, which was good. So the plants are getting a lot more light, and because of the cold spring I decided to bring all my Sarracenia purpurea under glass to grow on, and the head start they've got is looking good. Some minors and alatas. I'm doing one cross with my L18, that's why this one is here. There's still a few leucophyllus left, and then the flavas, there's quite an assortment. Some more bought-in plants ready for the 2 flower shows and 5 garden club talks I've got, and there's still a few flavas left. So coming back to the flower house again, space is always going to be an issue, whatever size collection people have, and I'm hoping with the next place all the collection plants will be under one roof. Avoid things for a while, plants being on the floor like this in the gangways. Also to have space on top for all my cuttings, and also seedlings. And of course this year's germination. Okay, thank you for watching, and hope to see you all in a few weeks at my open day.